What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Oh, man. Hey, Brooklyn. Happy New Year. Hey, Nathan. Same to you. Are you looking forward to GH? Surprisingly, except for the primetime special. You said the special is good and all, but something tells me it's going to be a letdown. I can see why you'd think that, and I just enjoy seeing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, so, because we barely see it with GH, so that part I'm looking forward to, but I feel like they're not going to focus on all of the history, and that's what I feel like I'll be disappointed in myself, personally, but, we'll wait and see. And hey, Nikisha. You said, good evening, everyone. It's been a while. Feel like I haven't hung out with y'all since last year. I know, right? Hey, Angel. Hey, Sandy. Oh, man. Welcome to the first episode of General Hospital After Show of 2024. Welcome, welcome all. Nikisha, I make the same New Year's jokes, my last day of work last year, I was like, see you next year, so, and I think I said that in the last live stream too, so, I'm just like you. Angel, you said you're excited for the special. Yeah, I'm excited to see the special, just because seeing GH in primetime, I think is, a cool thing, just in general. It's a rare sight, so, I'm excited for that part. And actually, I think, you know what, instead of Wednesday, I think we'll do a live stream Thursday instead, and that can kind of be the official GHMV Reacts for the primetime special, just so that we have something to go off of. Hey, Kaiwan. Hey DG, you said I agree, Dion. The 30th anniversary special was the best. This one seems like they're just going to prop up Valentini's GH. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I think they're going to focus more on the present day GH than the past. but we'll wait and see. And again, we'll do a GHMV reacts to the primetime special on Thursday instead of doing one on Wednesday, because that just makes sense. That way we can do the recap Sunday for just daytime GH. And keep the primetime special to the Thursday. Yeah. And it'll be fresh on all of our minds since it'll have just aired. So we shall see how it goes. Oh, man. But yeah. Welcome to General Hospital in 2024. The year potentially could start off with a bang, given how it ended, but we'll have to wait and see for tomorrow and the rest of the week. I have no idea what time it will be on. I'll probably watch on Hulu. That's fair. Yeah, I haven't checked when it's going to be on as well, but I'm sure it'll be on before 9:30 my time. At least I'm hoping so. It made me feel old asking people how long they've been watching GH. I've been watching since 8. Then Laura, right, has been watching since she was 11. By Thursday, but isn't the primetime special on Thursday? Today's Monday, right? So Tuesday is the 2nd, Wednesday is the 3rd, Thursday is the 4th. Yeah, it's on Thursday. So you think it'll be on the same day? I hope Lois tells Sonny the truth. That's what we're going to talk about first. Let's get into things, you guys. We might as well get started. Hit the ground running. Are we watching the special together? I don't think so. I'm going to watch the special when it airs so that we can kind of talk about it. I think it would be hard to watch all together, you know what I mean? Because then I might run into copyright issues and the live stream might end, so I can't really do that. But yeah, Anyway, let's get into GH, guys. When we last left off in Port Charles, Nina was about to confess all her sins to a priest in a confessional, only the priest was none other than Cyrus Renault, man of God. Not that she knew. Not only did she confess her sins, but he suggested she confess her sins to the people that she hurt. Nina went to GH to try and catch what was left of the Christmas party, but Sonny got called away to Windermere by Ava because it was broken into and Dante was there. More on that later. So it was just Nina and Carly, and Nina felt compelled to tell Carly that she sought guidance from the church about her and asked Carly for her forgiveness for Nixon Falls, of course, because Lord knows she wasn't going to admit the truth to Carly before she forgave her for her previous wrongdoings. And Carly basically told her she's going to have to look for redemption elsewhere and to take her apology and shove it. She was all, you took my husband and my hotel on top of having your daughter and your grandson in your life. So no, I'm not going to give you my forgiveness when you've already taken everything else away from me. And Nina hated that Carly wouldn't give it to her, of course. I feel like we've seen this before. Oh yeah, because we have. It's basically the same song and the same verse that we've been seeing for like 2 years now. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. It's just annoying, y'all. It's annoying. It's like we're stuck in the Twilight Zone with these two, honestly. It's bizarre how many times we've seen this scene play out. Oh, man. Oh, the special is 10 p.m. your time and you're in Virginia. What time is it there now then, Nikisha? I don't know the time zone there. Because it's almost 10 o'clock my time here. Lois figured it. Yeah, I love how fast Lois figured it out. We'll talk about that in a second too. So yeah, anyway, a few days later on New Year's Eve, Cyrus paid Nina a visit at her office and admitted that he was the one that she confessed to. Nina, having been blackmailed about this ordeal like twice now, jumped to the conclusion that Cyrus was there to do the same, and he kind of did. She asked what he wanted for his silence, and he was like, I just want you to tell Sonny the truth, because confession is good for the soul, and if you don't do it, he says, then I will do it. And then as Cyrus left, she proclaimed that if anyone was gonna tell Sonny the truth, it's gonna be her. I gotta hand it to the man. At least he got results that we've been begging for like a year now. Problem is, someone might beat her to the punch. So basically, the day before, Lois and Olivia were talking at the Q Mansion about Ned and the kind of man that Ned was today. And Lois brought up Ned turning Drew over to the SEC, and Olivia confessed that he didn't actually do it and was only taking the blame for the good of the family. Lois obviously wanted to know who did, but Olivia said that if the person's identity was revealed, it would hurt a lot of people, so they left it at that. However, the day after, on New Year's Eve, everyone was at the Savoy. Carly, Michael, Ned, Lois, Olivia, Sonny, among others, I'm sure. And the tension was thick, y'all. Things got pretty heated between Ned and Carly, and she pissed him off enough to almost get him to tell her the truth about who really told the SEC. And then Michael stepped in to prevent him from doing so and reminded him of their deal. And then after that, Sonny got in Ned's face too about what he did. Olivia and Lois, they were there observing all of this, and Lois, being the smart cookie that she is, managed to figure it all out in a matter of just a couple minutes, just like you said, Angel. She figured out that Michael knew who did it, and that Carly was the intended target, not Drew, and then boom, she realized it was Nina that turned Carly into the SEC, not realizing that Drew would be the one to end up in jail for it. And then Lois, by the gods, manages to get Sonny alone, and she's already told him that his family is lying to him. And that's kind of where the cliffhanger ended up on Friday's episode. So what do we think? Will Lois get it out? Will Michael, Ned, or Olivia run interference and be the ones to stop it? Or will they confess to Sonny the truth? Or will Nina beat them all to the punch and confess herself to Sonny? What do you guys think? Oh, also speaking of Drew, he's back in town, and he surprised Carly at her house, and they created some fireworks of their own for New Year's Eve. Oh man. Yeah, I would love for it to be Lois as well, honestly. Just because we've barely seen Lois and Sonny interact. And like Lois would tell Sonny the truth, and she really could. Like, I think that she would do it. I just feel like Olivia is wanting to rush back to the Savoy, and I think that someone's going to stop Lois before she does it herself. Angel, you said Cyrus had a point. The truth would set her free of blackmail. This is stupid. Like, this wouldn't be me. Yeah, that's how I feel too, Angel. Like, Nina could avoid all of this if she had just told the truth. And honestly, I feel like I would have respected Nina if she looked at Michael and Ned and told them to shove it and just went to Sonny and told him the truth. I feel like I would have respected the character if she did it. But she's admitted that she does not have the guts to do it. Up until Cyrus said, either you do it or I will. And I'm glad that, as bad of a man as Cyrus is in terms of, you know, his manipulations and faking this man of God act to get out of jail and probably do some more mob dealings, like, because he's kind of like, he has no emotional investment in any of these people. He wants to watch them burn. He has no vested interest in keeping the secret for anything. He doesn't want anything from Nina. He just wants Sonny's life to fall apart, you know? So he's just like, you know what, you do it or I will, because this is going to make my day one way or the other. I mean, he doesn't say that out loud, but that's clearly his motivation behind it. I mean, he tries to hide it with his, I think that, you know, truth is good for the soul and you should set yourself free. God would want this for you. Like, that's an act. And that's the act that he put towards Nina as well. Not that anyone ever buys it. I don't know why he continues up the charade. But, like, I just, you know, props to Cyrus for getting it done. Kaiwani said nobody ever gets a chance to outsmart Carly. Yeah, it's true. Nikisha, you said, I wish Nina and Carly had just had a real old school soap fight a year ago so we could be done with it. Yeah, me too. It's been a while since we've seen like a full-on, like, you know, brawl between two female characters. I was actually watching a montage of Carly and Sam's fights over the years, and it's just funny to see how they are now. It's 11:49 p.m. here now. Okay, so you are 2 hours ahead. So by the time... Okay, well, it airs 10 o'clock your time, so that's 8 p.m. my time. Is it a 2-hour special? Well, okay, I'll have to check the timings, and then I'll keep you guys posted on the live stream whether or not we'll do it Thursday night. I just don't want to do it Wednesday because I want to have something to talk about for the midweek live stream. And if we end up having to do it Friday, then maybe we'll just do Friday and Sunday. But I'm hoping for Thursday. I'll just have to check the TV guide and see what time it's on. Somebody needs to tell I'm tired of this. Yeah, me too. Sandy said, Sonny, Willow, and Carly are going to be pissed at Michael for keeping Nina's secrets. That's true. I'm interested to see how that plays out as well. Nina should have told Willow back when Willow asked her to stop her vendetta against Carly. Yes, she should have, but she is a spineless jellyfish. DG, you said, I just want this dumb secret out so the writers actually have to write something new. Yeah, that's truth. This isn't earth-shattering. That's what I feel too. Like, I don't like... Nina's been so worried about that Sonny's just going to disown her and dump her and blah, blah, blah. But I really don't think so. And I also think that Willow's not... Like, Willow's going to be mad at Nina for sure. But she's going to be equally mad at Michael. And I think she's going to have the mindset that she can't forgive one without forgiving the other. So that's how I feel like that's going to play out. Like, she's not going to lose Sonny or Willow over this. She's just going to have Carly hate her even more. You know what I mean? And probably the Qs hate her a bit more as well. But I mean, all the Qs know at this point, right? Except for maybe Monica. Olivia doesn't know that Michael knows, I don't think. Or maybe, no, she does. Never mind. Taiwan, you said, sorry for sending that karma. Sonny's got karma. He's too evil not to be taken down. I mean, it's not going to take him down, though. I think Cyrus hopes that it will. I just think that Sonny's not going to care as much as, everyone seems to think he will. It's 1 hour. Okay, so maybe we will watch it on maybe we will react to it on Thursday night. Want to have reaction on Friday. We'll wait and see. We're going to wait and see. DG, you said, I want Ned and Sonny to have a brawl. I'm tired of everyone backing down from Sonny. In my GH fanfic, Alan and Sonny have a brawl in the GH boardroom. Sonny loses but pulls a gun. Oh, man. Yeah, I wish the Qs could have gotten one up over Sonny at some point. Now they all seem to be okay with him. Cynthia Botros is so good at making crazy faces, you said, Nikisha. Nina's facial expressions are hilariously crazy. Everyone is going to be so disappointed when Sonny doesn't dump Nina. Maurice loves Cynthia Botros and wants the characters together. Nina will land on her feet. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, my thing is, like, do you think the audience really thinks that Sonny will dump Nina for this? Because I don't. Like, I don't think any of us in the chat do. Because we've already seen him forgiven her for far worse. Like, she kept his identity a secret from him and kept the fact that he was alive a secret from his family. So, like, this isn't even all that bad because Drew's already out of prison. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he got beat up, but he's already on the mend. Like, he's already banging Carly. Like, I don't know. Like, he's clearly in decent physical shape if he's taking her to bed. Like, you know what I mean? If Sonny leaves Nina over this, that would be shocking, but the writers don't have the guts. Sandy said it's hard to say what Sonny Mike will do. He's so brand new. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't think Sonny's he's gonna be mad at Nina for sure, but like, what's done is done. Like, Drew's already out of jail. It's just gonna make Carly resent him more or resent Nina more. The audience is really hoping Sonny dumps her this time. Hundreds of people are saying it all over the internet. I keep telling them they're writing for fail. See, I'm only on Soap Central in terms of, like, message boards and stuff. I'm not, like I said, I'm not on Twitter. I don't really pay attention to the social media aspect. I know that a lot of people want Sonny to dump Nina, but I don't think any of them are, from what I've seen in like, Instagram comments and, like, the message boards, that anyone truly thinks that he will. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm wrong. Again, I only see those two things, and y'all have a better window into the rest of the opinions than I do, probably. Sonny testified against his family for Nina. Exactly! Like, he ain't gonna do shit. Nikisha, you said, I don't think Sonny will dump Nina either. He's a fool in love when it comes to Nina, but Nina doesn't know the real Sonny. He has never hurt her. Every other woman Sonny loves, he has hurt many times. I feel like Michael's gonna get more fallout from this Nina. This and Nina, for real. You're probably right. Because, like, yeah, Carly's gonna be pissed at Nina for being the one that turned her into the SEC and got Drew hurt. But Carly already hates Nina, and she doesn't even hide the fact that she hates Nina. So it's gonna be nothing new. She's just going to have another reason to hate her. And then, but Michael, knowing the truth, despite Carly, thinking that it was Ned the whole time, she's going to be hurt by that. And she's going to feel bad for, like, bashing one of her best friend's husbands this whole time when she could have learned the truth a long time ago. And, like, even though Olivia for a while didn't know, that Nina was the one that turned her into the SEC, she knew that Ned didn't. So, like, while she might be a little annoyed that Olivia didn't tell her either, I don't know. I don't think she'll be as mad at Olivia for it because she's just, you know, doing what her husband thought was best. I guess. Or I guess, well, she's the one that convinced Ned to keep it a secret, so I don't know. But for Sonny's happiness, maybe she'll understand that aspect. DG, you said you're all over social media. The fans are crossing their fingers and hoping they'll finally break up. They're fooling themselves. Yeah, they are fooling themselves if they think that. They gotta think logically. Not just, like... I think one flaw with a lot of soap viewers is that they often, like, are almost too passionate, and it lets their mind kind of cloud, like, what will logically happen on the show. Whether that's, like, you know, the storylines and the characters, or like the behind the scenes stuff of like when they want certain people back and like thinking it'll happen even though they're like doing other things. I am referring to Jason, obviously, and Steve Burton. But like, I think even you, DG, while I know you kind of agree with Steve Burton on why he left and everything, but I think even you know that it's not up to GH at this point. It's up to Steve on whether he wants to come back to the show. But like, the fans aren't, I'll just be thinking of that. They're just thinking like GH is keeping him off of the show when they could literally bring him back whenever they want to, if it was completely up to them. They're just gonna have to make him one hell of an offer if they bring him back. That part will be up to them. Anyway. Hold on, before we move on, I want to see what the rest of y'all are saying. I think the worst fallout will be between Willow and Michael. Probably. You're probably right. Michael will be in more trouble than Nina. Yeah. Look how quickly Carly got over Michael's plan to get Sonny locked up. Carly won't hold a grudge against Michael. Yeah, but at the same time, like, Carly kind of gets Sonny's, or like his vendetta against Sonny. You know what I mean? Like, while she was like hoping that he would get over it, like, she understood because she's wanted revenge on Sonny. You know what I mean? This is a little bit different because this is affecting her life. You know, it's been screwing her over, and like, I don't know. We'll see. Most viewers have no idea about the behind-the-scenes politics and business. Many times that drives the story. Also, the writers don't think logically at times. They hardly ever give fans what they want. That's also true, man. All right, let's move on, though, because the next topic I want to talk about, even though Sonny and Nina were really the thumbnail of this live stream, the second biggest thing is talking about Esme and everything that happened with her this week. And you know, there's a lot to discuss with the character. Those are really the two main focuses of the week. Actually, there was barely anything else, but we will get into the other things as well. But yeah, let's talk about the break-in at Windermere. As you guys might recall, Esme started getting her memories back and broke into Windermere to try and remember more. And boy, did she ever get them back. All of the memories back. And it done messed her up. Now, of course, while she's remembering all of the things that she did on the parapet of Windermere had several more guests show up at the house to figure out what was going on. Ava, Dante, Sonny, and Laura too, who was with Sonny at GH when Ava called him about the break-in and wanted to come on the off chance that it was Nicholas. Dante was there because the police were alerted once the glass was smashed because Esme broke glass to get into the house. Now, Dante and Laura, they roam around and actually get upstairs as Esme was about to leave, so she hides, and when they go out onto the parapet, she escapes behind them but drops her glove, which Laura and Dante discover a little bit later. And Laura lost a brain cell or two in that moment because she asked Dante if he thinks that this tiny little woman-sized glove belonged to Nicholas. Laura, I know you want your son back, but damn, girl. Like, They really are dumbing her down. What? Like, what? Oh, man. I love that we can have different opinions in this chat and everyone is still kind and respectful. No drama other than GH drama. I appreciate that. We always try to keep it to a minimum here. Esme is already plotting against Trina for no reason. I want to talk about that, but let's kind of like get to that part of the story. So after Esme leaves Windermere and Spoon Island, she goes to the cemetery to pay a visit to dear old dad Ryan Chamberlain's grave. And by the way, props to Avery Pohl's performance in this scene, by the way. You could tell in that moment that this was the old Esme again, just in the way that she spoke and the permanent look of anger in her eye. I think for me, she's done a great job these last few months of really separating these two versions of Esme and making them so different from each other. Because for me, when she did lose her memories, it didn't take me personally all that long to realize that she truly had lost her memories and that it wasn't an act. Like, it didn't take me that long to think that. And also, like, even seeing the times when Esme, without her memories, was angry or annoyed at something, it was still vastly different from, like, angry and annoyed Esme when she has all of her memories intact. So I think that she's done a great job at, like, playing these two situations with Esme so differently. So props to her for that. Anyway, during her talk at the gravesite, she claimed to her psycho daddy that she was torn because she felt like she was happy with Ace and that she had her own place and her own job, but that it would be so easy to jump back into her old habits because she wanted to hurt the people who wronged her, and that she was worried that because of her DNA, she's not meant to be good, and that even if that's what she wants, it'll never work out. So for me in that moment, I thought, okay, great, that there's a good chance we're going to get a less psychotic but still villainous Esme out of this that's going to struggle to find that middle ground. That's kind of what I wanted, if you guys remember what I was saying the other day. However, the day after, it became quite clear that she's definitely going to wind up being full Esme again. She had visited Heather in Pentonville, and by the way, loved seeing Allie Mills again. I hate to say it, but I kind of almost prefer Allie's portrayal of Heather. And I know that sucks because, you know, what was her name? Robin Madsen. She's been Heather since the 80s, you know, and she's iconic, and the way that she played her in those days was iconic. But to me, it just felt like the last few times we've seen her as Heather, she's been very cartoony, and I find that Allie Mills plays her in a more realistic, crazy way. You know what I mean? Like, she just seems more real than cartoony, and I appreciate that about Allie's portrayal, and maybe that has to do with the writing too. Maybe they just write her better under Allie for whatever reason. Anyway, Esme admitted that her memories were back to Heather and that she wanted revenge on Spencer and Trina and hated seeing them together and felt sick to her stomach about the thought of having to pretend to be okay with them and to pretend to be appalled at her actions in the past. What was I going to say? Oh, wait, what are you guys saying? I've been, like, talking this whole time. They're really dumbing down Laura. Yes, they are. DG said, Esme is acting just as I predicted. I just didn't know she would go see Heather. She's also falling for Spencer again, which is what I thought. I predict now that Spencer will rediscover his feelings. I don't know about that. And there's a reason why, and it has something to do with, like, you know, how he currently feels about Esme. But we'll get into that in a bit. Looking at Esme, she did something. She did. The writers changed it. I really enjoyed Esme and Heather. I hate that they killed Ryan. Those scenes with Ryan and Esme were so good and creepy. Sandy, you said, I loved the scenes with Esme and Heather. Both great actresses. I did too. I really did. DG said, Esme's story is the one storyline that's been written mostly as I would have written it. I love the pregnancy and the amnesia, I just would have written a more realistic accident to get the amnesia. That's fair. She talked to her delusional mother and crazy was fully activated. I want to talk about that though, but let me read the rest of the comments before I get into the rest. You said I also would have written Ava as Esme's mom. Really? But I would have loved her character now is split in two. Ali's third Heather. I know. There was a first Heather. I'm just saying that the Robin Madsen's been her since the 80s. Before the first, she's the recast, but you know. You said, I'm sorry, but Robin Madsen will always be my favorite Heather. I totally feel the opposite than you on Heather. I think Ron turned the character cartoon. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not disputing what Robin Madsen was as Heather in Heather's prime. Not at all. But I agree with you. Ron made her cartoony, and that's the Heather that we had been seeing the last few times. And I know that we've seen Heather since Ron was fired, but she was still very cartoony. Whereas in the 80s, she was, a bit more realistic. And that it's just that she hasn't been since, Frank Valentini's GH brought her back. Regardless of whatever writer's been kind of utilizing her. Nathan, you said love AM as Heather. She's impressed me better than on Bold as Lemon Bar. Pam Douglas. DG said, but I think the recent scene between Heather and Esme was written very down to earth. Ali Mills can play either way, crazy or down to earth. I hope they reduce the cartoonish angle now. I hope they reduce it too, because I liked, and this is kind of what I want to talk about with the scene, with Heather and Esme. So, in a shocking turn of events, basically, Heather was kind of the voice of reason in this conversation. While she was very happy to finally get to meet Esme in her full form, she advised Esme to stay silent, enjoy her life with her son, and find someone new, which is kind of a normal thing that a mother would want for their child. She's like, Spencer's not good enough for you. You deserve better than this, which I think most mothers would say that to their child when dealing with a significant other that does not like them and does not want to be with them. Move on and continue on with your life. I don't know. It's funny because with the way Heather's been written over the years, that conversation really could have went either way. I think in the past, Heather would have been make sure you make Spencer pay for everything that he did to you, that you felt justified, for getting revenge on him for. But she played it as please, Esme, just you have your son. That's the most important thing. Just find someone new. You have your own place. You're a single mom. Have some fun. Put yourself out there. But unfortunately, judging by the end of Friday's episode, during the New Year's Eve fireworks, she was lurking behind Spencer and Trina while they were watching the fireworks on the docks, and her usual eerie background music was playing, and she looked angry, and she had tears in her eyes, and she was shaking, and she had the Arthur meme fist happening as well. She had that Arthur meme fist. It was so funny. I laughed at that actually, but clearly she's gonna go full Esme again, and I'm disappointed in that because it means one of two things. She's gonna do something completely psychotic, and a whole lot of characters are gonna be dumbed down constantly to keep her on the canvas in ways that will insult the audience's intelligence levels for the next few years, just like they did that with Peter August and Nell, or they'll actually just kill her off or throw her in jail, resulting in the show losing a pretty talented actress because they didn't want to level out the character enough to flesh her out and make her more complex and give the character some kind of longevity by letting her hover near a gray area. That's what I wanted, DG. I know that you and I kind of had that conversation the other day, but I feel like they're going to make her full Esme and not give her that, because it seems like they kind of recanted her being torn of wanting the good life and wanting the bad life, to just straight up wanting the bad life and going for the bad life to get her revenge. So I don't know. Okay, let me back things up. Cause I've missed a lot here. The worst Heather for me was when she painted the BLT paintings for Franco. Yeah, that was dumb. I think that was during Ron Carlivati's era too. Cher's sister Georgina Lapierre originated the role of Heather. Yeah, I knew there was a actress before Robin, and I've seen her work as Heather too, because that Heather was the one that got the dose of LSD, and then I think after that, the Heather that came back was Robin Mattson, right? She had no idea how popular GH would become. Yeah. Can we please have no more amnesia victims for 2024, please? I'm down with that. I think there's a call back to make sure her daughter doesn't end up like her. Well, if what you mean is you think that Heather's just trying to make sure she doesn't end up like her, I think that's very big of Heather, honestly. And like, Heather doesn't want Esme to go to jail, like, even though like we as the audience see that like she deserves to go to jail for what she did. But she is trying to make sure that her daughter stays out of jail. Like, she's saying, like, don't get revenge on Spencer. Like, you're a single mom with your own place. Have your fun. Get someone better than Spencer. It's a very realistic mom thing to say to her. I sadly thought the majority of Allie's scenes when she first took over Heather were way too over the top. The fiasco between Heather, Ryan, and Esme was all the same loony bin, was just too much for me. Yeah, that was a whole lot of crazy. They should match Esme with Adam. They could be the new Heather and Ryan. Oh my god. But I don't think that Adam's crazy. I think that he's just, like, he's got some shitty ass parents that are stressing him out when it comes to school. And I think that if he could just, like, break away from his parents, then he'd probably be fine. You know what I mean? Their biggest escape was, like, slapstick comedy. That's true. Oh my god, it was. It was even funnier, though, because Esme was amnesiac, and, like, she was just, like, traumatized by this whole thing, especially when she realized who they were, like, who she was, or who they were to her. My goodness. Crazy voice of reason. If Esme stays fixated on Spencer, she will just end up like her mother. It will be Heather and Luke 2.0. That's what I'm thinking. Like, as much as I wanted Esme to be morally great, I'm not that surprised that she's gonna continue with her obsession over Spencer, because we've seen it with Heather and Luke for so many years. A decade. I think the writers will balance out Esme's villainy this time. She has a conscience now. Does she, though? I don't know. I'm not convinced she has a conscience. Like, I think that for a split second she wanted to do good, but she admitted she's not appalled at the things that she previously did to Spencer and Trina and Cam, right? And she feels justified in what she did. And I don't know. Like, I guess we do have to wait and see, in a sense. But she strikes me as she's going to go full force on Spencer and Trina again. Now, speaking of them, Spencer and Trina got news that she has been accepted into an art program at a university in Paris, y'all. And Spencer is willing to uproot himself and move to Paris with her so Trina can live out her dreams over there and be with him at the same time. Now, I don't know if this is going to play out or not, but I have to wonder if when Nicholas goes to shoot his new primetime series, if they'll usher both Spencer and Trina off screen when they do. And it's funny because I've never actually thought about that being a possibility, but it is a very real possibility. Like, I literally thought that they would just destroy the couple so that Tabiana could still be on the show while Nicholas does his thing. And as a Sabrina fan myself, I'm a little bit torn because I don't want to see them break up, but I also think it would be unfair for Tabiana's future with the show if her being on the show is up in the air due to Nicholas's new job. So, you know, but at the same time, it would get Sprina away from Esme, like a vengeful Esme, perhaps long enough for Esme to move on with her life. And so I get what I want with Esme if they go off screen. So I'm really, really torn, y'all. But I suppose it would also be a possibility that Esme is psychotic enough to follow them to Paris as well, and they'll just have Spencer be in and out, like here and there. You know what I mean? But where do you guys think this will go? And what are y'all saying in the chat as well? We should let Nina adopt Esme. I mean, Esme is so much like Nell, like, I don't know. Plus, if Esme tells that she has her memories back, she's going to trial for her crimes. This is true. And that's why Heather wants her to stay out of jail. Or wants her to keep quiet, sorry. DG, you said, I also think that Spencer will end up her ally again. Trina and Joss will be pissed. The Heather who drank the LSD was Mary O'Brien. Oh, okay. Wait, so there's been like... Wait, hold on. Was there 3 Heathers in the past? So there was 2 other Heathers before Robin Madsen? I only thought there was 1. Interesting. Esme could just come in and out like Heather and Nell. She could. Revenge for what? Nobody did anything to Esme. She did all the evil to everyone else. I know, but I'm just seeing it from Esme's point of view. Like basically Esme is seeing it as revenge because nobody sided with her about anything. Everyone teamed up against her and she felt wronged by that. So this is her revenge to just do wrong back with them because they've, in her mind, Spencer, Trina, and Jocelyn and Cam, they did nothing but shit on her. So I'm seeing it from Esme's point of view. I'm not saying Esme's point of view is right. It isn't. But that's just how Esme sees it. Amnesia is not going anywhere in soap writing. It's a permanent trope they use. Well, I would want them to not use it this year. Esme is not going on trial or to jail. People need to give up on that. I think she'll go to trial. I just don't think... I think that if she goes to trial... I don't know. I think that she's just not going to admit it, but they could potentially make a case that maybe Esme is faking her amnesia now, because she will be, and put her to trial because of that. Now, proving that she's faking it, I think will play out in the trial if there is one. But at the same time, I think that we're far from that being a possibility. Although, like, one thing with Esme is that I don't think she's gonna do a good job at faking amnesia in front of Trina and Spencer. Truly, I really don't. Adam doesn't deserve that. Adam is gradually going nuts. I can see his story building up to a tragic act. Yeah, I could see that too. I think we will learn that his father beats him. I want a total catfight between Trina and Esme, and I want Esme to win. To me, Trina is a wacky, weak wimp. She annoys me. Angel, you said, will we see Paris, or is this how they write them off script so Nicholas can film? Nicholas is filming now. Well, I think we might see bits and pieces of Paris. I mean, they're obviously not going to go on location, but I think that there's a possibility that we might see Trina in a new dorm room, or like Trina in a classroom, and Esme showing up, and maybe Spencer popping in and out when he's able to work on GH, like once in a blue moon. I'm just thinking it's a possibility. I'm not saying that it will happen. But we're obviously going to see a lot less of Spencer, if none of Spencer at all. So it's either going to be that, or we're just going to see them off screen. Like I said, it could play out anyway. kidnapped Nina. Sorry, what? How Laura was kidnapped? I'm confused. DG, you said, I think Spencer and Trina will both take off for a while. Perhaps Tabiana has another project too? Not as far as I can see, but I guess it's possible. But it's also, like, not the first time that we've seen a couple go off screen together, simply because one is unavailable to work. I mean, we've seen this countless times with Kevin and Laura. Anytime Jeannie goes on vacation, we never see Kevin. So he's off on an adventure with her off screen. So it is in the realm of possibility. Georgina, then Mary, then Robin. Okay. Spencer seriously needs a job or something to work towards outside of Trina and Ace. I think he does too. And it's funny because we've already seen Trina have that conversation with Trina. So I wonder if, or sorry, Trina had that conversation with Spencer. But I wonder if she's going to bring that up again. Like, please find something else to focus on. But at the same time, I think Trina's just happy that he's finally away from Esme and wants to spend as much time as possible with him now. I don't know. Maybe she's feeling differently these days. But I think at some point, maybe while in Paris, she'll kind of see that he's just living her life for her and not, like, doing anything for himself. And maybe she'll send him away. To, like, find his own way for a bit. And then maybe she'll still be in Paris, and then Esme will come to, like, stalk her then, or, like, make her life miserable while she's in Paris and Spencer's away from her. I don't know. Hard to say. Like I said, the story could go anyway. His dad was his age when he was running a company. True. Esme wants Spencer back, and I think for a time she will get him, not permanently. But here's the thing, like, you know, in reference to what I said earlier, like, Esme's, like, Spencer is more aware of the kind of person that Esme is, and I don't think, like, Heather picked up that Esme wasn't the old, like, the amnesiac Esme in, like, a heartbeat. And this is someone that was barely around her, right? But Spencer, you know, he's lived with her all this time. He's going to notice a change in her unless they dumb him down to drag this out more. And that's what I'm frustrated it'll turn into. Like if Heather can see that in a second, it would make no sense to me that Spencer doesn't see that even in a couple of days. Because I think that Esme's gonna find it hard for him, I don't know, to hide her true feelings from him. Esme is like, Cyrus, if you won't be my friend, I'll just get rid of you. Yeah, going to trial and actually being sentenced is two different things. This is also true. Esme's gonna call him Spence. Yeah, she's gonna slip up. Like, she's not gonna be able to hide the fact that she doesn't have amnesia. In my opinion. Because she's too, what's the word I'm looking for? She's too impulsive. The real Esme is too impulsive. So, and too, like, wearing her heart on her sleeve. And her hatred. It's all good, Nikisha. Tabiana said there are big things to come for Trina, so I expect a showdown between Esme and Trina. I mean, it's about time. Spencer's not going to be on American Horror Story. He's going to be on, like, that crime story about that serial killer. But it's not American Horror Story. It's just the same guy that makes American Horror Story that's making this series. Not Spence. Kevin never gets any airtime anyway. Such a waste of John Lindstrom. Hopefully he will get more airtime as Kevin treats Charlotte. Hopefully. I think Trina will suspect that Esme remembers and confront her, but Spencer won't believe her, and that will cause conflict. I think the writers will start to dumb down Spencer again. Oh, I really don't want that, though. I really don't want that. Spencer seems disgusted about Esme. I doubt he wants her back. True, Spencer already told Laura and Kevin that Esme seemed different. Trina's gonna be all over Esme, and Spencer will wonder why she's so mean to her. Yeah, but Spencer isn't even all over Jocelyn for being mean to her, you know? And, like, Jocelyn's not stopped being mean to Esme at all. So, like, why would he care now? Heather is Esme's mom. Moms have a way of knowing their children no matter what, if they pay attention enough. Well, Spencer really hasn't had much of a choice but to pay attention to Esme because she's been in his life for so much. And he's already finding it odd that she's spending less time with him, like, and, like, giving Ace to him. Like, he's already a little sus of her, and she hasn't even shown her face since she's had all of her memories back. So, I don't know. I don't see it playing out that way, but we'll see. Heather hid her fake amnesia for about a year while she plotted to kill Diana. Esme is her daughter after all. Yeah, and I guess to your point, we did see Heather say that she inherited the art of deflection, I think she said, something like that. Or like shifting direction. Or the art of deception. You think that Laura is the one who suspects that Esme's memory is back? Will she, though? You think she already does? I don't think she already does, because she hasn't even seen her. But, I don't know. I don't know. They've already dumbed down Laura to, like, you know, in the Esme situation, that I don't think that Laura's going to be the one that suspects it first. American Crime series, yeah. I'm actually interested in the Mendez brothers story. Nicholas being in it makes it better. Yeah, like, I would have watched it one way or the other, quite frankly, because I watch a lot of Ryan Murphy's, like, stuff. Like, I watched the whole American Horror Story series. Not a fan of the current season of American Horror Story, but I've loved all the other ones. And I did watch the other American Crime Story, which was, who was it again? The guy that killed Versace, right? Versace's killer? But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it one way or the other. I will definitely be watching it. Then we can maybe who knows? Maybe it'll be good enough that I'll have an after show for it. We'll see. I used to do American Horror Story after shows, if you guys didn't know. But it was just too hard to to maintain because it wasn't live back then, and it was hard to get it out quickly in a way that, like, people could talk about, and I wasn't ready to live stream yet. And then by the time I started doing live streams, I kind of lost interest in the series as much as I used to love it. Like, I still watch all the seasons, but not enough to want to talk about it to people. Andrew Cunanan, yeah. The Dahmer was rough to watch, though. Yeah, this is true. I watched the first episode, and I couldn't really. It was a hard one to stomach. I just kind of would watch people's reactions to the rest of the series, and I was like, I don't think I could watch it. It was too. I think the thing about that particular series as well is knowing that the real life victims of Jeffrey Dahmer were not informed that they were doing the series, and they were not informed that they would be depicted in the series. Like, they got no heads up, and I think that was wrong, and I think that also made me want to watch it a little bit less. And I don't know, that's not to say that they didn't do this the same way with this new series. I'm hoping that they learned their lesson because they caught a lot of flack for it in that previous series. But I don't know. It's just, I think they're like with the way that they wrote the Dahmer stuff, like they had certain scenes that were like ready and available footage of the actual events, like being shown verbatim, where I think like the Versace killings thing was a lot more there was a lot more creative freedom in that, whereas they stuck a little bit too close to the truth, and I think that wasn't fair to the people that actually experienced the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. I haven't watched the full season of American Horror Story since election year with the cult. That was actually, I think that was the last American Horror Story season that I did, like for like a reaction or like an after show. Either that or it was the one right after that, but I can't remember. I think I started the one after that and then I just lost interest. I couldn't stop watching the Dahmer. He actually came near my area and he liked black guys. I could have been a potential victim. Oh my god. I felt so sorry for Tony. I loved Tony. Tony did everything right. He made Jeffrey work for him. I love that about Tony. It's hard wanting love in a hookup culture. Man. I even thought Dahmer was attractive in an offbeat way. I mean, Evan Peters played him, and Evan Peters is an amazing actor as well. Like, I'd put, like, when I found out that Nicholas was going to be the new serial killer, like, I've always kind of compared Nicholas's acting to Evan Peters in the sense that he could probably play psychotic the same way that Evan can. So I was like surprised, but also not surprised that he got casted in Ryan Murphy's series, because, you know, maybe Ryan's a GH fan and spotted him and like approached him for it. I don't know. I'm curious to know how he got the role. I mean, besides his own talent, I wonder if there was any sort of like you know, move on Ryan's part to approach Nicholas for it, or if Nicholas just happened to audition for it. Couldn't see them because I don't have Netflix, but I heard the stuff. Evan Peters said he had to take a break from acting after playing Dahmer. I don't blame him. Playing a serial killer would probably mess you up, especially just based on what I heard about the series. Like, they made it so scary accurate, and he had to live in that world the entire time with such accuracy. And there was no creative freedom on like how he played him, I don't think. Because that kid played Spencer on his show. Oh, the kid that played Spencer, yeah, the previous Spencer was on American American Horror Stories, the sort of spin-off series of American Horror Story. I did see him in that. All right, but we got to move on. There's still a couple more things to talk about, guys. All right, yeah. Let's quickly wrap things up. The other things that we have to talk about are kind of short and sweet, but it is getting late, so I want to get into them quickly here. First, let's talk about Lucy's plans for Tracy. Lucy and Tracy, they were at odds at the start of the week, throwing insults and low blows at each other during a work meeting. And Lucy is more determined than ever to get the company back from Tracy, and she's willing to do anything to make it happen, including using Scott's feelings for her to convince him to woo Tracy, become her new husband, and dupe her out of the company. And again, I just find myself wondering, is this really what we brought Jane Elliott back for? Is it really what we brought her back for? Are we really wasting Jane Elliott's talents on this kind of storyline? That's all I have to say on that story. Like, they've already set the plan in motion for Tracy too. Like they already have Scott like buttering Tracy up. It's so dumb. All right. Now, at the same time that this is going on, by the way, Felicia is setting her own plan in motion to find out for sure if Cody is Mac's son or not. She showed up on set of Home and Heart, saw the stylist combing Cody's hair, and then Felicia stole the brush and pulled the hairs off of it and gave it to someone at the GH lab to get a DNA test done. Sasha was keeping an eye on Felicia, knowing that she was suspicious, and I believe that she figured out exactly what Felicia was doing. What she can do about it at this point, I'm not sure. I'm hoping that she just lets it happen, even though Cody would probably feel betrayed, because I know Sasha thinks that Mac knowing the truth would probably be a good thing, despite the potential legal woes from claiming Leopold Tao was his father to try and inherit money that wasn't actually his. One thing I know for sure is that I definitely feel weird about Mac not being around for any of this. I mean, from the looks of things, John York, health-wise, things are looking optimistic for him, but I think that he still has a long road ahead of him, so we're not going to see Mac on the show for a while. So if the truth comes out while he's gone, it's going to feel like a bit of a letdown. Like, I know that people are kind of mixed reactions on the story, but like, to me, whether he's here or not, it doesn't feel right that everything's going to happen with John not being able to be on screen. I know people are asking if they're going to have a recast Mac, and I wouldn't want that either. Like, the thing with Mac is that he's not that important of a character in today's GH that he needs to be on screen. They can have him off screen without it being weird for a while. But because of this, they're playing out the story with him absent. It's so weird to me. What are y'all saying though? Tracy don't want Scott. No, but they had a bit of a like a bit of a flirtation at some point. So I think, you know, who knows? And Tracy's still grieving Luke. Who's to say that she won't fall for his arch nemesis, you know? It would be a soapy thing to happen. Little M, you said Esme's not going to hide her hatred for Trina and Joss, and she's damn sure not going to be able to handle seeing Sabrina kiss. Yeah, like I agree with you. I think that she's gonna not be able to hide her hatred for them. Thought Gregory would kiss either Tracy or Alexis. We'll talk about that in a moment. I think it's pretty dumb too, but no surprise. GH is wasting Jane Elliott for no reason. He said, I agree. It's very sophomoric. I like Tracy stealing deception, but the writing is very Mean Girls-esque. Yeah. Scott is in his tricks. Sorry, I don't know what you mean. John York posted a health update on Ken Schreiner's Twitter. His head was shaved. Yeah, I seen that. I did see that update because they've posted it elsewhere. His head was shaved, but he said things are going well with treatment. Yeah, like I said, like he's got a long way to go. So I don't think like it's weird that the storyline is playing out as quickly as it is with him being off screen, and we know that he won't be on screen for a while. Alright, moving on though. Christina and Molly, they have another obstacle ahead of them. According to Alexis, it turns out if Christina is both surrogate and the egg donor of TJ and Molly's baby, she would biologically be that baby's mother, and there's nothing legally getting in the way of Christina if she wanted to claim the baby as her own once it's born. Molly and Christina aren't too concerned about it. TJ was a little bit, but after hearing Christina's reassurance after a one-on-one conversation he had with her, she claims that she has no desire to have kids. She's down to be the cool auntie. He's relieved and ready to go forward with their plans. But as much as I think Christina is sincere in what she's saying, I think the writing is on the wall that she's gonna gain an unhealthy obsession with this baby when she's pregnant, and even more so when she gives birth to the baby. And I hate that for Christina because it's finally seemed like they're getting her away from the black sheep, hot mess family status that she's been in for years. So I'll be disappointed if that's the route they're going with, but I feel like that's the route they're going to go with. Last but not least, Alexis and Gregory, they went skydiving. It happened mostly off screen. I'm just happy that we got to see some of it. But we saw them on the tarmac with Alexis being absolutely terrified and hilarious as well. She's so good at comedy. I love Nancy for that. Trying to muster up the courage to go up there with an instructor who was a little too chill for her liking. I liked the comedy aspect of that. And I love that she absolutely loved it by the end of it. And the excitement got to both her and Gregory because they kissed. And I feel like I wouldn't have minded this like a year or two ago, but the fact that it's happening now when he probably doesn't have much time left kind of feels like they're just giving him an instant romance with someone he's been in the friend zone with for like years, just to add a little more razzle dazzle for the tragedy aspect of when he inevitably passes away. So I don't know, it just feels rushed, and I don't know, maybe I guess it's possible that Alexis could be playing it in a way that like, you know, I can give him this, you know, like maybe they can address that maybe she had feelings for him at one point, and that she'd love to, like, you know, go down the idea and the possibility of a bit of a romance before he dies. But I don't know, we'll see. We learned earlier in the week that there's a possibility that his disease was progressing, so I just don't think we're gonna see. I feel like Gregory might pass away before the end of summer. I'm gonna call it there. All right, what else were you guys saying? I'll quickly read the rest of the comments. It bothers me that Frank completely rewrote Mac's past to prop up Cody. Mac deserves his own story based on his true past, but I was at least happy to have John on screen more. It will suck if the truth comes out, truth about Cody's parentage comes out with John off screen. Yeah, because and I know how you feel about Cody being his son, but also I like that you do see like the weirdness in that John's not going to be there for it, because this is a storyline that involves Mac, and Mac should be there. And I think it'll be great to have Mac finally have a kid of his own. They did it in a weird way, but I'm glad that they gave him one. Obviously, I wasn't watching at the time of Mac and Cody's mom, whose name escapes me right now. I probably would be just as annoyed as you are, but since we're given with what we're given with, like, I just feel like I want to see this play out with John on screen to play it out with. Molly is a lawyer with blinders on. Bad way of thinking. I don't understand why Molly wouldn't do the paperwork to adopt the child legally. That's true. I really wish they would just scrap the surrogacy story. I couldn't care less about it. You think they're planting the seeds, but Tracy and Gregory have you think a love triangle will happen? I guess it's possible. Alexa's trying to give him this all right. Well, before he can't walk at all, you know? Oh, man. Alexis should be back in the courtroom. Yeah, she talks about the law enough. But they'd have to do some weird soap maneuvering for her to get her license back. Or have someone pull some strings. Greg will die at the same time Brooklyn and Chase get married to make it a tearjerker. Oh my god, that'd be so horrible. Having Gregory in a romance is bad timing based on his health, but I don't care for the character that much. I guess Gregory wants his walk to remember. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, that's, you know, I see what you mean, Nathan. Like, the reality of the situation with Gregory is that he's not a character that a lot of people care about, you know. So, but to that end, neither was Oscar. But I think in both cases, in both storylines, there was a lot of talented actors surrounding that character of Oscar, just like there's a lot of really talented actors surrounding the character of Gregory. And I think that because of the talent that's in the story, despite the characters not really being that, I don't know, I don't want to say unpopular, a lot of the characters are played by really talented actors that can do wonders with a script with characters that aren't really, well perceived. Not that nobody receives them well, but like, you know what I mean, right? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, they're not a bunch of popular characters within the storyline. They're kind of just like, I don't want to say D-list, but like they're not A-list characters, all right? But they're played by a lot of really talented actors that are gonna give us good performances when this plays out, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Seeing these actors get meat to chew on in emotionally hard-hitting storylines. Diane said she can help Alexis get her license back. I would do it if I was Alexis. Yeah, she might as well go for it. Maybe once Gregory dies, she'll no longer want to be a part of the business, and she'll want to get her license back even more so. We don't know Gregory like that to care much about him dying. Yeah, but we didn't know Oscar about him dying, but I still loved the performances of Billy Miller and Samara Braun and Eden McCoy. Like, all the characters that were there when he died, like, they all rocked it. And I don't even like Kim, and I was just kind of okay with Drew. And Eden was still quite young, but I liked seeing her take on such a big story, because I really think, while she probably wasn't at her best yet, I think it definitely helped her grow as an actress and made her better in the years to come. Like, they really wasted Lila and Edward to take Oscar to heaven. He didn't deserve all that. Yeah, but you know what? I liked seeing Edward and Lila again regardless. I think they were trying to make it like the Thanksgiving episode. That was a tearjerker. I didn't expect it with Oscar either, but I did not expect to see the back of Edward and Lila, walking to heaven together. Like that broke you guys. That broke me down to an ugly weep. Okay, like, even thinking about it right now, I'm choking up. Just because it hit me so hard when it aired, and even thinking about it, I'm almost crying, y'all. Like, it's ridiculous. The one prop I'll give to Ron Carlivati is that he knew how to do one-off episodes really well. He just sucked at overall storylines and like dumbing down characters. I thought we were going to find out that Gregory was misdiagnosed. I don't think so. I really don't think so. There is so much more they could do with Gregory Harrison. He was a big deal in primetime in his youth. Now kicking him off in a tearjerker is just dumb. I mean, it is, but like, it's also in the possibility that they'll just bring him back as someone new. Maybe he'll have a twin brother. Who knows? But you're right. I think it was kind of lazy of them to give Gregory this storyline, because he's had this storyline as an actor before on Touched by an Angel, the series from like the 90s. So they just like copied it off of that basically. So they had like a whole year to tell it in. A tragic terminal illness story should be reserved for a beloved character that the audience is emotionally invested in. You're not wrong, but like, here's the thing. Like, when you think about it, like in the 90s, like, I think what we think about is Stone, right? Stone and Robin. And Stone was only on to like they brought Stone on to give him AIDS, like literally give him that, and have Robin be the one to like get the disease after. So that was a tragedy in the sense, but Stone was a beloved character in the end, right? Like, people still to this day talk about Stone and how great of a character he was, but he was just like Oscar in the sense that he was brought on to have this disease and get killed off. It's just that, like, Jocelyn, I know that, like, obviously she was born several years before, but essentially Jocelyn was more grown Jocelyn was a new character. But it didn't stop the rest of the cast and Eden from giving good performances for that. So I appreciated that part. So I don't know. They were just saying that the doctor couldn't give him the bedside manner he needs, not misdiagnosis. Okay. I'm glad they found out that this patient saw a doctor in Beecher's Corners. Yeah, that'll maybe help Finn's case. I don't want Finn to not be a doctor anymore, just because we don't have enough doctors on the show. And then who's left? TJ. That's it. TJ and Portia, who's already also like a chief of staff. Alright, y'all, but it is nearly 11 o'clock at night, and I'm done my notes. We've talked about all the things of this week. So stay tuned. Later on in the week, whether it's going to be Thursday, maybe Friday, we'll wait and see. I got to check the TV guide on my end here. But we'll have a sort of live stream to talk about the primetime special. And then, of course, we're going to go back to Sundays for General Hospital After Show. Just we did it Monday because of New Year's. And I hope everyone had a Happy New Year celebration this weekend. Mine was actually low-key. I didn't end up going out. I just kind of spent it hanging out with my dog and my mom. So, but I kind of needed that, you know? But all right. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. If you liked the live stream, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you all later this week. Mwah. Good night, everyone. Peace out.